Vampire the Masquerade Bloodhunt on Steam Deck. Now I've heard several reports of this not working, however this worked perfectly fine out of the box, no custom protons needed. However, the controller did not work. For some reason it just did not recognize the controller mapping and only thought it was mouse and keyboard. So I had to switch to Proton Experimental and then the controller worked just fine. So not quite sure why that is, but Proton Experimental if you want to use the controller on Steam Deck. Otherwise, graphics were not great on this one. I had to knock it all the way down to low, and you can see that the frames per second was still bouncing between 30 and 50 most of the time. Especially in combat, it really was quite jerky. However, it is more than playable. As you can see here from the settings, I did have the frame rate in game limited to 60 and everything on low or off as would allow. And it was quite pixelated, especially using the ability to see what's going on. Combat was a little bit tricky to get used to, as always with FPS on controller for me, as I am mostly a mouse and keyboard player. However, it is playable on the low settings, but it does bounce around quite a lot on that frames per second. So what about if you cap it to 40 Hz, I hear you ask? Well, this makes an absolutely huge difference. You can even bump it up to medium and have that 40 Hz cap. Then it not only looks good, but it also is extremely stable. This is definitely a better way to play Bloodhunt. You will lose a little bit of advantage on the frames per second on the jump on a few people. However, if you just want a much smoother experience and to stand a good chance of being able to play without it looking absolutely hideous, then 40 Hz with VSync on is definitely the way to play this with the standard medium settings and motion blur off. Let us know if you're going to dive into Bloodhunt. I've struggled with this game. I know there's also been quite a lot of complaints around cheaters, and I do seem to encounter them every other game where they're just completely unkillable or kill you within a couple of shots, even when you've got the drop on them. Let us know in the comments below if you've also encountered this, or whether you've just been able to have fun. I'll leave you with a bit more of the gameplay here without me talking so you can get a better feel for the game and performance. Give us a shout in the comments below if there's another game that you would like us to take a look at. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of the video.